Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more Zero Hour. Welcome back to another Pro 1v1 match. Today, can you guess the map? It's a map we don't see all too often, and we have seen it sometimes. There's a map called DeDuSu, with a little village here in the middle. Kind of like a tournament desert with a more open middle area here. Then moving on to our little market area. All these crates, all these buildings, and then a little roadblock thing. And then let's introduce the players. Down in the south, we have the man himself, SiZe, big SiZe with the orange USA laser, I believe he is. Looks like he's going for a double supply. And then up in the north, we have none other than his nemesis, which is Fargo, or Easy Fargo, with the blue GLA vanilla. You can see a nice little stealth drone there flying above. Let's get the mini-map. So we've got Fargo with a tunnel in the middle, a tunnel on the left, and looks like he's just got a worker in there on the right-hand side. Those are coming forward for SiZe. Wants to shut down that worker, and does. I wonder if that's the sound, a little boosh. That's a real sound that you would get if you hit a worker with a bulldozer in real life. Probably, would it sound? We probably hear a lot more crunching, at least. I don't know if it'd just be a case of just boosh. I don't think it'd be quite like that. It might hear a scream, probably, if you get run over by a bulldozer. SiZe is going to be a little bit brave here, sending his V forward. Does lose it, though. He's going to take down all of the RPGs, and I think, actually, losing only one V for that is pretty good. But Fargo is going to bring another technical. If he'd got that scrap, he would kill this V easily and then potentially get a super tech. But the fact that he didn't get that scrap, I think he might actually lose a technical. He does. Little things like that can make the difference, because that's keeping those V numbers down. That would have been the second V down. That does add up and make a difference. Later on, if SiZe gets 3 or 4 Vs, he'll be able to push out maybe like 10 seconds sooner. And if he does get to the arms dealer, it could be GG there for Fargo. Speaking of Fargo, he's getting 2 big flanks here on SiZe. He might have lost that middle position, but he's getting a tunnel up here and here. SiZe dropping down a fire base, and he's sending a V over to this right-hand side. Will stop the worker. Technical now coming in for Fargo. It's a massive map, this. It really is truly a wide map. There's no way you can just like drop down a fire base and bunker off a whole flank. Like, you got to drop down like several fire bases to block off the whole map. And likewise for the GLA. Just got a TNT on the supply there, very, very nice. But likewise for the GLA, you have to drop down a hell of a lot of tunnels to block off all the middle as well. It's a high chance that USA is going to be able to charge through and come towards your arms dealer at some point. Fargo here with a nice strat. You're seeing a lot more pros do this nowadays, which is instead of bringing in 1 tech RPG and just dropping off like 5 RPGs at a maximum, which tends to get cleared up pretty quick. Actually, the GLAs tend to bring in more technicals and more RPGs and do one big like kind of death blob now. Now you see these V numbers are getting up. It's becoming dangerous for Fargo. There's a weird laser lock going on there. I think some were just stuck in the laser lock position, but some were actually just shooting normally, and it looked like they were just hitting the ground. But yeah, SiZe needs to actually get 2 of those Chinooks and bring them over here, because currently his economy is taking a bit of a hit. Another technical now for Fargo. Fargo is very good at keeping up the TNTs throughout the game, like we mentioned before. Obviously, we're still in the early stages of the game now, so you would expect to... Whoa, baby! Holy moly! Holy! Oh my god! Oh my god! What have I just seen? That should have been killed with ease. SiZe has got to be slamming his head on the keyboard now. Whoa! One $200 terrorist just killed an ambulance, which is worth 700. Oh no, wait, is an ambulance 600 for laser? Let's call it 700 times 4, because there's 3 Vs there as well. It's 2,800 plus all the missile defenders inside, plus the time you've spent upgrading the tow missile. That is insane. That might have single-handedly won Fargo the game. I mean, a joke will be on Fargo if he goes on to lose this after that amazing terrorist. That's literally unbelievable. SiZe only needed to like attack move or just go back a little bit in guard mode, or didn't even need that much micro anyway. I think he was just so sure that the Vs would take it down. I might even have to rewatch that at the end. It's literally insane. Another TNT comes in here for Fargo. all of the attacks and all the fights have not really gone Fargo's way, I have to say. Except that one terrorist. So is SiZe going to be able to catch up now after that devastating terrorist? Literally insane. What is Fargo doing with them terrorists, man? Because he can kill that dozer there. That's weird from Fargo, because he could have hit that the barracks there, and it would have, the splash damage would have killed the dozer even inside the box. SiZe has picked up the other dozer. That's a big missed opportunity there for Fargo. Fargo's now expanded to a third, so Fargo's now well and truly controlling the game. SiZe's got to be so angry, man. He has to be angry. He's making laser tanks now, and he's got low power. Oh, man. It was going so well for SiZe, and then all of a sudden... insane. Yeah, I was going to say that's not a good fight to take, is it? He's going to get himself a super tech now. No scrap deny. Oh, I don't know. Is SiZe falling apart a little bit here? Doesn't have the capture upgrade. SiZe is pushing forward over here, though. He's using the laser tank to actually physically tank the damage there, which means just absorb all the damage from the tunnel and let the Vs actually come in and dish out the true damage. SiZe looks like he is recovering and stabilizing, but I do worry about his position compared to Fargo's, because Fargo's already got a palace on the way, already got a third supply up. Not even sure what that was. There's a few Vs. Fargo might actually just come in and just engage this firebase. Might lose. Oh, he's going to kill some of his own. What the hell just happened there? Oh. He stopped the terrorist. If they'd actually hit, the splash damage would have actually killed several of his own tentacles. Oh, SiZe's nemesis. They're back on the field. Run away, SiZe, quick. You are going to need to run away. Weirdly, I think the terrorist even killed a drone then, by the way. Did you see that? I think when it died, I think it killed the drone above it. I think SiZe has still got his dozer there in the corner. The problem is that SiZe is going to be against Buggy soon. Yeah, I thought I could hear a building being captured. SiZe is getting the artillery platform. He's going to try and get this oil here as well. On the left-hand side, SiZe just defending that oil position while he tries to capture it. I think Fargo could suicide one or two tentacles now just to delay that ranger. Might be good. SiZe is pushing on this right-hand side. SiZe is doing it extraordinarily well, considering he lost 4 Vs to 1 terrorist. Well, 3 Vs, 1 ambulance. Unbelievable. But yeah, Fargo is still getting pushed back a little bit. The terrorist control hasn't been the greatest. It's often just been like random terrorists just standing around. Whether it was there was some there, and now he just popped a load of terrorists as well, which means he's putting them inside the tunnel by mistake. Nice laser lock there from SiZe. Is Fargo going to continue to push that? He's brought another TNT there with him or something. He's brought all the terrorists. Oh, that's a bad engagement there for SiZe. Should have stopped chasing that a while ago. Maybe SiZe is paying attention over here. He's now building a strategy center. He's not deployed the strategy just yet of search and destroy. But there are going to be buggies out. That is for sure. Yeah, Fargo does make the most of the terrorist, that is for sure. Like, even at this stage in the game, he's still doing TNTs. A lot of people probably would just be focused on buggies and quads right now, but he's going to continue with the TNTs. Pathfinders are now out, which means the TNT there fails for Fargo, going for the oil. I think that V is going to die there. Is he going to set search and destroy now? Kind of needs it. Search and destroy now initiated, but these units turn around. One of the Vs is going to go down, and that's the strong one. Ooh, it doesn't go down, actually. It's because of the Vet 2. The Vet 2 does make all the difference. Jarman Cal now in action, but I think there is a Pathfinder somewhere because it was killing the terrorists before. I don't know if SiZe wants to bring a dozer over there and repair that oil. Usually he does that. On the right side, SiZe has still got that oil. He's got this artillery platform. But I do worry for SiZe because the amount of buggies that are going to be out, they just wreck these easily. So he's now collecting from the middle with his extra Chinook. He can actually collect from the middle from here as well. So he's now spreading some more Pathfinders around. I think he knows that Fargo is going to go for this TNT. Here's another random terrorist. And the push forward begins to continue. Begins. But the problem is, the further SiZe pushes in, the more Vs he's going to lose. So are you prepared to lose those Vs to gain some ground? That is the question. It's just going to focus down that oil. There is an oil here on the right hand side as well. The A10 is just going to come in and take that out. If SiZe can get Fargo off that, then I'd say he's in a really decent position. Fargo does have 2 markets though. He's already got the workers' shoes. Yeah, but I swear, without that terrorist killing all them Vs, SiZe would have already won this in my view. But he lost more than half his army at an early stage in the game. And this is where the V's now are just getting absolutely wrecked. And especially as laser, I mean, what else are you going to do? You could make an airfield, maybe, Vanilla Raptors, to try and take this out. Colonel Burton, we haven't seen this a unit SiZe normally likes to make. SiZe getting chased and chased. He's just forced into a bad engagement. And SiZe doesn't have many units out at all, really. Fargo in a much stronger position now. Fargo really just has to preserve them buggies. Even if he's trading off against them, really, he's getting the bounty money for it. He's got markets. He's the one who can afford just to sit back and camp and make more buggies, more quads. SiZe is now under a lot of pressure. I mean, something else that SiZe normally likes to make is actually Tomahawks, but he actually can't because he's USA Laser. But he can make Colonel Burton, and we are missing Colonel Burton currently. SiZe is going to try and go inside of that 10. I don't know if it's really going to achieve much, though. It's got a really low HP. It will easily go down to a quad. SiZe loses 2 Vs here on the right-hand side. Laser comes in on the battle bus. Battle bus goes down. I did hear a sniper. I don't know if that's actually a Pathfinder or a Jarman, but this is looking abysmal for SiZe on this right side. Losing almost every single unit. Colonel Burton is now finally out. Laserlock comes in on one of the buggies. Buggies continuing to press the issue. This little building is going to go down. Colonel Burton getting some good damage in, actually. There's only 5 buggies remaining. But there's still 5 buggies too many. And Fargo behind this has made loads of markets. Slowly been building them up. Yeah, and amazingly, he's managed to do this all on one arms dealer. Pretty much probably every other player. Oh, has he just got the bounty money now? That's a big mistake if he has. Yeah, pretty much every other player would be on 2 arms dealers by now, spamming the quads and the buggies, and therefore have less markets. But Fargo's managed to do this with just one arms dealer. Could you say if that TNT didn't hit in the beginning? I think the explosion's still there. If that TNT didn't hit there, if SiZe didn't walk onto a terrorist, more like, would Fargo have had to make 2 arms dealers to combat the amount of Vs? Probably. I think he's been allowed to stay on 1 arms dealer just because he killed so many Vs so early on with 1 terrorist. This is a good mix, actually, that I've seen a few people mention now. Is that Fargo will bring in this combo. He'll have a Jarman inside of there, so if anything evacs, then he can actually use the Jarman Kell to kill the MDs. The MDs can't laser lock the battle bus. SiZe still collecting from here. He's got a laser turret. It's going to help out a little bit here, but I think Fargo doesn't care. He's just going to engage it. He's got another TNT being prepared behind it, and SiZe has got to be annoyed with this. A10 comes in, kills 2 quads, which is kind of okay, but he's losing the only bit of secondary economy he's got, which is these drop zones. Kind of bit now back in action, but I'm pretty sure there's Jarman Kell inside of there. And that's it, GG. Man, SiZe has got to be angry with himself about that. He has to be angry. That 1 terrorist, I thought those Vs would take it down with ease, but just seemed to explode at the last minute. And it actually took down 3 Vs, an ambulance, and they were probably fully loaded Vs as well. So, yeah, that's really unfortunate for SiZe, but sometimes these mistakes happen. Sometimes you just got to dust yourself off and go again. But either way, that was quite an entertaining game considering that massive mess up there by SiZe. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments. GG, well played, and see you in the next one.